What's going on, guys? Oh my, Godzilla back with a very exciting Godzilla figure review, guys. Today we're taking a look at from Jada Toys in their Metal Figs diecast series. Their Godzilla x Kong, the New Empire figures. Obviously, we have Godzilla, Kong, Skar King, and Shimo. This is a really cool set. These are some really fun looking figures, and guys, I can't wait to take a better look at them with you guys. Without further ado, let's jump right in.
Oh my god!
Quickly jumping back in time to when these things were still in their packaging, we can go ahead and see we got the Jada Toys logo up at the top, Godzilla, Kong, Skar King, and Shimo down at the bottom. Logos down at the bottom as well. Monsterverse. Taking a look at the back, just kind of some goodies, as well as some pictures of the figures. But also we get a cool photo of Kong in the Hollow Earth. Why is it just Kong? I'm not sure. Well, you can see, I wonder if that's Shimo. Who's that? It looks like a head of somebody, like teeth and stuff. Interesting. I've just noticed that for the first time. I don't know what that is. Could be Shimo. Could be a rock. I don't know. And then there's the other side, top and the bottom of the packaging, guys. Let's bust these guys back on out. Alrighty, guys, we are back here with our 4 die-cast figures from Jada Toys. Again, guys, first thing we notice right off the bat is we do get Godzilla evolved, but interestingly enough, we don't have Kong with the Beast glove, guys. These figures do have some pretty decent weight, being that they are indeed die-cast, but Jada Toys did a pretty solid job with them. I'm definitely impressed overall. So we're going to kind of one by one look through these figures, just take a look at paint, detail, everything we have to look at on these figures. So let's go ahead and start, of course, with the King. So here we are with Godzilla Evolved, King of the Monsters. Here we go. So here he is, taking a look at some of the paint and detail. He looks pretty good. One thing right off the bat I do notice is that since they didn't give him actually 3 distinct layers of spines, they went ahead and did not completely paint, or they didn't at all paint, the outer layers of the spines with that classic kind of new pink look on him, just to kind of give it a look of some depth on there. They did the outside rows of spines, did not get the pink paint. I'm glad we got the elbow spike painted pink. All the way down to the tail is painted pink. Toe claws are painted fairly well. Body sculpt is good. Definitely looks good. This detail on the legs looks solid. Up through the torso looks great. Fingernail claws are painted well. We do have even detail and texture on the fingers themselves. Scales on the arms look great. Got to enjoy that. Body texture looks good. Again, we already kind of talked about those spines. They look fine. The face looks good, really good, actually, I think. You know, not quite perfect Godzilla face, but it's fine. The snout kind of points up a little bit, which is interesting. Eyes look good. They're painted accurately. Looks pretty solid from the front. It could look a heck of a lot worse. The teeth are somewhere in between, you know, looking great and looking not so great. They could have been done a little bit better. Bottom teeth look better than the top row there. So that's something to note. Top of the mouth has a tiny, tiny bit of, texturized detail. Tongue has a little bit of a texture on there. So not too bad. I love the sides of Godzilla's head, though. Those spines look really cool, especially on the side that is kind of stretched out a little bit more. Those look a lot of fun. They look pretty darn good. Guys, I don't know how well these figures are supposed to scale. Probably not very well, because there's no way Kong is this tall compared to Godzilla. So I assume that means this comparison to him against Shimo doesn't really mean anything at this point. Speaking of Shimo, let's jump into him. Alrighty, here she is, I think. I think it seems to be that people think Shimo is going to be a female titan more than a male. Toe claws are painted very accurately. Those look very good. Good detail on the top of the feet, not too shabby at all. Bottom looking okay. Good detail on kind of the bottom of the body, transitioning from kind of those layered levels to kind of the jagged area in the neck. Looks good. Arm detail looks pretty solid. I kind of like, we have like a nice white shimmer that we get if you catch it in the right lighting. So that's cool. The spines on Shimo look very good. I love these kind of layers. We did get 2 distinct layers, and they actually did paint the white on the inside is actually white. Again, all the way down through the end of the tail, we do get that blue paint, and it's very cool. We have this pitchfork kind of look on the tail. Looks great. And we do actually get, the tail's light enough that it does actually move a little bit. Moving into the head, these back spines look really cool. Jagged, shooting out of the back of the head. It looks pretty darn fun. Face looks good. Looks pretty solid from the front. Teeth are okay. Tongue is painted actually in there, if you can see. Not really, but the tongue is painted a different color, kind of back in there, a little orangey. It's very hard to see it, but I promise it's painted. We get the kind of nostril paint. Looks good. It looks like I do have a little bit of a paint that's not supposed to be there on the tip of the nose, kind of there. The eyes look good, though. Great looking at those eyes. Painted well. Definitely a good look at Shimo. Next up is the OG Monsterverse monkey. So, checking out Kong. Look, starting with the feet, we do have some toenail kind of detail in there. Differences on those feet there. Moving up, we do have some, it's not too great, but they did give us some kind of fur texture detail on the legs. They definitely didn't do as much as they could have. The back has better detail on there than monkey cheeks. Moving into the chest, we do have a little bit of ab detail. The scars are a little bit present. The beard kind of hangs down in the way of them a little bit more than I feel like it should, but that, this is kind of a deformed looking figure anyways, not supposed to, go in for full accuracy. Arms look okay, there's the hands. We don't really get fingernails on these hands. Well, the fingers are obviously tucked away, but the thumbs could get a fingernail. But that is not really present. Mouth looks okay. Sorry, this guy keeps jumping in and out of focus. The mouth looks okay. Obviously, we have some paint bleed onto the teeth there. The teeth are not overly sculpted that well. The tongue has a little bit of texture on it. Top of the mouth has nothing. Eyes look okay. Definitely painted a lot worse than the Godzilla and Shimo. You can tell that the eye on the left side of the body kind of droops a little further than the right side. It's actually pretty obvious. But that doesn't look too shabby, especially if you're kind of just glancing at him from far away. He looks fine. He gets the job done. But definitely so far the least, the most underwhelming of the three we've looked at. Into Skar King. Here we are with our Skar King. So starting again with the bottom of the figure, we don't really have toe claws like we did, or toenail definition like we did with Kong. Just kind of the feet detail are there. Hands, again, no fingernails really present. The fur, kind of the same deal. The texture's not there as much. A little bit better on Skar King than it was on Kong. Checking them out. The whip slash actually looks pretty solid. That's a good look at the whip slash, I think, actually. Checking out the front of the whip slash looks really, actually, nice. It's weird how it definitely, aggressively cuts into his body. I don't know if you can tell, but it sticks out a little bit, but it's definitely, cutting into his body. You can really tell, it cuts into his body on the sculpt here. On the front of the figure. The face of this guy, gonna be a little, not that great. Maybe the eyes are better than Kong. I can't get this guy too much closer without the focus getting all weird. That's a little bit better. So the eyes are painted a little bit more accurate. He's got a ton of wrinkles around those eyes. But the teeth look pretty derpy. They're kind of, we got the bottom teeth kind of jagging up. I think they just don't quite seem like something's a little off there. So they definitely, with the style of figures, they definitely captured Godzilla and Shimo much better than they did Skar King and Kong. But now that we've taken a look at all four of these figures, let's get into some sizing. Alrighty, first sizing I wanted to go ahead and do. Obviously, these guys are not going to size up with very much. Here's how they're going to size up against the new Playmates Godzilla Evolved. Obviously, these guys stand, maybe 2 inches in height, whereas our Playmates figures are closer to 6. So obviously, these guys are quite dwarfed by the Playmates. Also going to obviously be dwarfed by the 6-inch Movie Monster series, this being our Godzilla from Godzilla vs. Kong, the DVD set. So all those 6-inch figures are not going to scale too well with these smaller Jada diecasts. They're a whole lot different in build, but this is the Playmates Mystery Mini from the little Hollow Earth crystals. So the sizing, height-wise, looks pretty good, but obviously these guys are kind of more chibi style, so they're a little bit kind of bigger and bulkier than the more thin, smaller-looking Playmates mystery figures. Speaking of chibi, this is the Bandai Creation or Bandai America Godzilla from their chibi mini line. So that's actually going to scale okay. Those guys don't look too bad side by side. Last one, kind of in the chibi style. This is the Funko keychain of Godzilla from Godzilla vs. Kong. Can't wait for the new Funko Pops for Godzilla X Kong. Got a lot of awesome ones. Can't wait to pre-order those. But here is how the Funko keychain is going to size up. A little bit smaller, but still in the ballpark of scalability. Alrighty, guys, this has been the Jada Toys diecast Godzilla X Kong, the new Empire figures, featuring Godzilla Evolved, Kong with no beast glove, Shimo and Skar King with the whip slash. Guys, let me know which one of these is your favorite. I definitely think Godzilla and Shimo look the best. Kong and Skar King just don't quite look quite right for whatever reason. But I think Godzilla and Shimo look very solid. I'm definitely excited to have these. I do believe they make them individually packaged, and they might even be keychains, I'm not sure, but I know they sell them individually as well as the 4-pack. I picked up the 4-pack online. I will link it below if it's still available, but guys, hopefully you can track these down. I know that people have been seeing them in stores. I definitely want to track down these single packs and see if there's actually a difference there. But guys, thank you so much for watching. Let me know your thoughts on this figure set in the comment section below. Thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned for more, and we will see you in the next one.